In this SPSS demonstration, we will be producing a test of mean differences. Begin by opening your GSS 2014B dataset. And now we want to do a two-sample t-test. We find that procedure under Analyze. Then again we go to Compare Means, and in this case for Independent Sample t-test. You can see here that the opening box requires us to specify various test variables, the dependent variable and one for the independent or grouping variable. For this demonstration, we want to test the null hypothesis that men and women work the same number of hours each week by using again our variable hours1. So place that variable in the test variable box. And the variable sex in the grouping variable box. You can see that we now have two question marks here. And that just shows us that we must supply two values to define the two groups, so the independent samples that we want to compare. So we click on Define Groups. And for this specific variable, and this depends on the variable that you're using, we put a 1 in group 1 because that notes males, and then females had the number 2. And you find that again for whatever specific variable you're using in the values, right? In this values box of your corresponding variable. So once we specified the values, we click Continue. And we click, now you can see it changed to 1 and 2, and then we click OK to run the procedure. So the title shows us that we ran an independent sample t-test. Here we'll see the mean difference for males, numbers of hours worked last week, and then also the mean number of hours worked last week for females. And then the corresponding standard deviation and the standard error of the mean for each of them. So you can see that just comparing those two means, right, that males worked about 5 hours, so 43 minus 38, right, hours more per week than females. The next thing we want to do again is look at the significance. The Levine's test is discussed in detail in Chapter 8, so make sure that you familiarize yourself with that, because we use that to determine whether the variances of the two groups are equal. And in our case here, we reject the null hypothesis of equal variances, because the significance of f is 0.027, which is smaller than our 0.05 alpha. The t obtained is 5.048, right? Equal variance is not assumed. And we have a probability of 0.000, which is clearly smaller than 0.05 or even than 0.01. Therefore, we can reject the null hypothesis of no difference and conclude that men work significantly more hours per week than women. So this difference of 5 hours is significant at the 0.000 level. And the last two boxes again show us the 95% confidence interval for the mean difference in hours worked between the two groups. And as the book notes, this is really helpful information when we're testing mean differences because the actual mean difference will vary from sample to sample. So this 95% confidence interval gives us a range over which the sample mean differences are likely to vary.